Good morning, girls. This is Dr. Kiran Deshwal, and today I will teach you the story Birthday, composed by Vaikom Muhammad Basheer. Birthday is one of Basheer's most famous short stories, which he wrote in 1944. This story provides a detailed and vivid account of the birthday of the narrator, a day when he has no money to buy even a cup of tea. We know that birthday is a very special day. It comes once in a year, and we all try to make it special, and our near ones and our relatives also try to make it special. But with the narrator, it is very contradictory, as he has no money even for a cup of tea. This story has autobiographical overtones, and the portrait of the narrator as an activist and writer is said to be about Basheer himself. So, let us begin our story. Open page number 69. It is the 8th day of Makram, and today is my birthday. The writer's birthday comes on the 8th day of Makram. It is a Muslim month. Contrary to my usual practice, I woke up at dawn and bathed and performed my morning ablutions. He was excited, so he get up early and performed his morning ablutions, and he takes a bath, and having put on a khadda shirt and dhoti, as we know that he is an activist and it is the dress code for the activist. At that time they used to wear khadda shirt and dhoti, and having put on a khadda shirt and dhoti and white canvas shoes, I lay on the reclining chair with a heavy heart. In this line we can know what the writer is feeling. He is having a heavy heart with some burden. He is anxious, he is worried that it is his birthday today and how will he celebrate it. So he is having a heavy heart also because he has no money for the tea, and it is usual and customary to have tea in the morning, and he is afraid that what will he do because he don't have the money for a cup of tea. Seeing me up so early, my next door neighbor, Matthew is his neighbor. So, seeing me up so early, I get up so early in the morning. Seeing me up so early, my next door neighbor, Matthew, who is a student in the BA class, showed great surprise. It is surprising that he get up so early because usually he gets up late. Seeing me up so early, my next door neighbor Matthew, who is a student in the BA class, showed great surprise. With a smile, he greeted me. Matthew greeted him with a smile. "Hello, good morning," he said in English. I said, "Yes, good morning." They exchanged morning greetings. He asked, "Why are you up so early?" Because he surprised. "Are you going somewhere?" So the narrator replied, "No." I said, "Today is my birthday. That's why I get up early in the morning." "Your birthday?" He again spoke in English. "Yes." "Oh, I wish you many happy returns of the day." He wished him happy birthday, and the narrator said, "Thank you." Matthew entered the bathroom with a toothbrush clenched between his teeth. It is morning time and he is brushing his teeth. There was shoutings and bustle all around, interspersed with love songs. Students used to live there, so in the environment one can hear love songs because they were students and clerks. Did any of them have a worry? For them, Life was pleasant. They were young, and young age is a time when life seems pleasant, full of pleasures. But I was thinking of how I could get a cup of tea. This is the worry of the narrator. He don't have any money. That's why he's thinking that how could I get a cup of tea? The midday meal had been assured yesterday when I was going to bazaar. Hamid had invited me to a meal without any reason. So he's tension free about the lunch because lunch has been settled by some of his friends. He is a minor poet and a very rich man, but I could not be without tea till lunchtime. It is okay that I will have lunch with Hamid, but what should I do with the tea? How can I get a cup of tea? Sitting in my room, I could guess that Matthew's old servant was busy making tea for him, and when we know that our neighbor is having tea, our urge for tea becomes rise more and more, but I could not be without tea till lunchtime. Sitting in my room, I could guess that Matthew's old servant was busy making tea for him. My room was the storeroom of Matthew's kitchen. This is the situation. He don't have money for a room. He is living in a storeroom. The owner of the house had rented it to me for 8 annas a month. This is the room rent which he pays every month, 8 annas. It is the smallest room in the building with my easy chair, table, shelf and bed. There is hardly any breathing space left. In all the rooms of the three buildings, there were three buildings, and in all those rooms within the walled compound, students and clerks live. Most of them, most of the renters were students and clerks. I am the only person whom the landlord does not want because he is irregular in paying rents. The reason is that I do not pay rent regularly, so people don't like such persons. There are two other parties who do not like me. It is very humorous. The right narrator makes it very funny that he doesn't pay regularly to the landlord, so he is not happy with him. And again, the hotel keeper is also not happy with him. Why? And the government, because he is an activist, he is a freedom fighter. So the government also don't like him. I do owe some money to the hotel keeper, but I owe the government nothing. Still, the government cannot bear my sight. I have spoken of my residence. He is telling to the readers that I have told you about my residence, where do I live. That we know that he is living in the storeroom for 8 annas per month, and food and country. Now I have to speak about my clothes. For food, he is dependent on the hotel keeper. He is also not happy with him. And for country, he is dependent on the government, but the government is also not happy with him. Now I have to speak about my clothes. Now he will tell us about his clothes, about his shoes, and about the lamp. Before I write any more, I have to make a point clear. The writer wants to make us something clear. It is past midnight now. The time is midnight. I wandered for a long time in this town, having left my room with paper and pen in hand. He's a writer. He writes, and how he writes. First, he leaves a pen and paper in his room, and he wanders here and there. Then ideas came into his mind, and he writes, having left my room with paper and pen in hand. No special reason for this except that I want to write my diary for the day from beginning to end. He writes his diary every day when he goes to bed. There is in it all the material for a fairly unusual short story, and things get collected and it becomes a short story. That's why we have autobiographical touch in this story, because this is about the events which happened on his birthday. But there is no oil in the lamp in my room, and there is a great deal to write. He has to write so many things, but he doesn't have oil in his lamp. That's why he goes to the roadside and he sits under the road light and he writes there. That's why I got out of my bed and have come and sat under this lone lamp near the lake side. And the environment is also good. There is peace, there is silence. He sits beside the lake side and begins to write while things are still fresh in my mind. Like clouds about to participate, my heart is heavy with the events of this day, as though it would burst if I don't write. So he tries to write. That's why, so that he can console himself, so that he can empty himself a little bit, so that he can de-stress himself. Kamla Das says that writing is healing, and for the whole day he is having a heavy heart. That's why he want to write something, so that he can make his heart light. By writing what he wants to say, he writes it on the paper, and after writing he feels light. That's why he write the whole events of the day. There is nothing unusual about today, but it is my birthday. This day is also same about the rest of the days, but it's this is it's my birthday today. That's why I think it is special. And I'm far from home. I am living in this city, far away from my relatives, my family members, my dear ones, and I have no money, and there is no way of raising a loan. I have no money, and I am not in a situation to raise a loan. The clothes I wear belong to many friends. Now he is telling us about his clothes. He says that the clothes are not his. The clothes I wear belong to many friends. He has borrowed these clothes from his friends. There is nothing I can call my own. He is very honest about his belongings. He tells us that he don't have anything which he can call his own. When Matthew wished me many returns of such a day, so he is afraid that the writer thinks that I don't want to come this day again and again in my life. When Matthew wished me many returns of such a birthday, there was a little pain in the core of my heart. Really, no one wants such days in his life, when you are moneyless, you are friendless, when you don't have your relatives with you, when even you don't have the money to get a cup of tea. No one can wish such day to return in his or her life. I remember. He is remembering the events and then he is writing. I remember it was 7 o'clock. He is recalling the events of the day. So he starts from 7 o'clock. It was 7 o'clock, lying in my easy chair. Right now, he is lying, he is in his easy chair. I thought to myself, he is thinking, at least this day I must guard against my misdeed. This day I won't do anything wrong. On this day I will guard myself against any misdeed. I must not borrow from anyone today. Today I won't borrow anything from anyone. Nothing must go wrong this day. The eye of the today must not be like the hundreds of different me's that I see in the black and white chain links of past nights and day. Everyone makes resolutions on his or her birthday. How old am I today? On every birthday, we guess our age, and the writer is also thinking that how old am I today? I am a year older than last year. Last year? 26. No, 32. Or is it 47? He is confused about his age. My mind was greatly upset. When we are upset, we can't recognize or recall things clearly or correctly. So his mind, the writer is upset. I got up and looked into the mirror. Not too bad. A fairly distinguished face. I have a distinguished face. A high and broad forehead, steady eyes, a thin mosaic like a carved sword. Not bad on the whole. By thinking this, I saw something that gave me a shock. A grey hair. Everyone is um, perturbed or confused about the gray hair. Gray hair symbolizing hair growing age. Then he thinks that I am growing up. A white line amid the black hair above my ear. With great effort, I pulled it off. So, the writer has told us about his room, about his food, about his clothes, about his ideology, and this is very painful. We feel sorry for the writer that it is his birthday today, but he don't have money even to have a cup of tea, and it is very miserable. We can know the pain of the narrator. So we will be continue in our next video. Thanks for watching.